I'm sure.
I'm reading from your workplace guidance, keeping the workplace safe. These were the measures that you guys announced last night in this press conference. And one of them in keeping the workplace safe is consider adjusting or postponing large meetings or gatherings.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The Trump campaign is going to announce today they're holding a rally. Is that wise, given this instruction, which is to consider adjusting or postponing large meetings or gatherings?
So first, I just want to mention, John, for your viewers, coronavirus.gov is where we have put that guidance up. It's for families, for schools, for workplaces, employers. Really good evidence-based guidance out of a peer-reviewed publication from Australia with great data behind it. In terms of large gatherings, and I don't want to comment on a campaign, I'll defer to what Dr. Fauci said at last night's press conference, which is it all depends on the community, where you're doing it, and what the circumstances would look like for gatherings. You know, some big employers have stopped big gatherings. That can also be just about their own internal employee fears, managing those. And again, I don't want to second guess employers on the choices they're making there.
But isn't it your job? Isn't it the task force job? I'm not asking you to second guess. I'm asking for guidance from the task force on coronavirus. So what is the guidance from the task force on coronavirus about big gatherings? And if that guidance is considering adjusting or postponing large meetings or gatherings, why is the Trump campaign holding a rally?
It's consider adjusting or postponing large gatherings if you're at risk, if you're in communities where they're spreading, if there's a science and evidence-based reason for doing that, or if you're a particularly vulnerable person. So the elderly and those who are medically fragile, we have said you really should think twice before going to a large gathering, taking a long flight, or in particular getting on a cruise ship. Please don't do that.
That makes a lot of sense. So let me ask it this way. My parents are in their late 70s. I'm not aware if your parents are still alive, but if they are, would you advise your parents to go to a campaign rally?
Listen, I don't want to get into making this a political issue.
I'm asking, it's a large event. Would you advise your parents to go to a large gathering like a campaign rally?
I would encourage any individual who is elderly or is medically fragile to think long and hard about going into any large gathering that would involve close quarters and potential spread. And if they do go, to take appropriate personal hygiene protections. Don't shake hands. If you have to, maybe an elbow bump is the most I would do. That's the practice I'm using now. Wash your hands with soap and water, hot water, and do that for over 20 seconds. Keep as much distance as you can from others. So if you find, just like the folks you showed earlier from the villages, if you're going to play softball, just don't high five. Do some good personal hygiene. We need to go on with our lives. This is a large, powerful country. We all have to live our lives. Localized interventions where we have the most cases. You know, right now, most of our cases we're seeing are in some clusters in Seattle, Washington, in Santa Clara County, in California, and in New York. So we've got localized clusters. And then the rest of the new cases we're seeing seem to have a connection to travel from Iran, South Korea, and Italy at the moment.